And hello, everyone. Welcome to the third and final episode of After the War, Warframe Yard, Gauntlet Edition. So, when last we left off, uh, something was within a coffin-shaped torpedo left over from the war. And that something was a Tormenta mutation. Yeah, you gotta deal with that. So, remind me, how exactly did you deal with that?
We dropped it in the weird sludge pit outside of town.
Yeah, that's totally going to work just fine. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. And I believe someone might have gotten corrupted, if I recall correctly. A lot has happened since that time.
I know what you're talking about. I feel fine and haven't been changed at all.
Oh, good. So now that we know that Kia hasn't been corrupted at all, I think we can get started. So I think that the first scene, has to take place. I am torn because there's a bunch of interesting options. So, Kia, where do you go for solitude?
I'll just pull up the river I've saved off the war map. Oh, hang on.
It's also on the Kickstarter page.
Oh, excellent. Where is my drive item in? I guess we'll have some locations on the
Its second tab has some
yeah.
info.
Probably. I feel like a quiet time around the Tree of Tears sounds like a good place to seek solitude. Maybe
Excellent.
climb into its branches. I'm not sure.
So
yeah,
it is okay, so this is taking place in the Tree of Solitude at it is in the middle of a sunny afternoon. The warm yet alien sunlight filtering through the bone-like tree branches and warming Kia's skin. Napping comfortably, just dozing in and out of consciousness. When the first vision burns into her mind. So, Seb, why don't you take over and do the tilt?
And here the tilt is the vision or something?
I pretty much. Here, underhand pitch.
Okay. Probably something about Polvo. I think that's you speak to. I don't remember the name. Polvo. Yes, I got it right. Ha! I'm awesome. Speaking to you, except its voice is strange and eventually dissolves into just incoherent screaming. And I think that continues until you wake up with a start and almost fall out of a tree. Or the I do not have the tilt description in front of me, but the thing that is stressful is that Polvo is screaming at you in your dreams.
Yep. So what kind of scream? Scream of anger, scream of pain, scream of loss, scream of ecstasy. I mean, you got lots of
and then sort of pain and maybe betrayal almost, and then just incoherent rage scream.
Oh,
Sort
good.
of like the coffin was screaming.
Excellent. So why don't you pick someone else to do the third? The question.
I mean, gotta be Larry. So,
Oh, hmm. I guess the question that occurs to me would be just, well, can I just ask real quickly? I mean, is this related at all to the corruption that Kea went through, or is this not mechanically necessarily tied?
Just a little bit. Um, it is thematically, narratively, and fictionally tied,
Okay,
not mechanically tied.
okay, gotcha. Um, I think the question is just, how is it that Kia is going to interpret this dream? Like, how is she going to make sense of it, impose meaning on it? Does that work?
Yep, that works.
Okay.
All right. So, the screaming echoes in your mind as you wake. What do you do, Kia?
I
And
think.
who's present in the scene?
Oh,
Because there's plenty of people who could be at the Tree of Tears.
ooh. I think it is. I think like I feel like both of our PCs can be there. Other PCs. If the Tree of Tears is a place I would frequent. I think also there's probably uh Bolso who yeah, I feel really skeezy for doing this because I'm just like they're plot armor, but I think Bolso who was another one of like the Bastion's children, who I guess came here with me. Um, he's another who's another Belter actually, part of the Belter trio between me and
Shay.
Shay. Thank you. Yeah, so I think so the echoing in Kia's mind um transitions into echoing throughout like the tree of tears as I wake with a start. But the my screaming is not of pain and anger, it's of fear and panic. And I definitely like wake up with a start. And I feel like I like to think I was like, a tree branch up from the ground, like sort of dozing in its leaves, and my stomach like lurches as I almost like come toppling from it, but I sort of like catch myself. And
There's a small split second as you're waking out of slumber where you see other people looking at you and you imagine that they leap on you and start chewing into you and start devouring you, and then it just slaps out.
nice. Yeah. And there's definitely like sort of that pinprick, like wide-eyed, like heavy breathing. It's like he is looking down at everyone, clutching at like the tree branch with like white knuckles, and then waits for the moment to pass. And I think like from the treetop, like looks down at everyone else and sort of like yells, like we have wronged Polvo, and Polvo is angry at us, and we need to make right for what we have, the suffering we have caused this beautiful entity.
So Balso moves over to you. What's wrong?
And
It was a nightmare. It's fine.
Badger. Oh yeah.
So Polvo, whose belief is that union is a holy gift, is a non-binary sex worker / counselor from the belt.
Nice. And like Kia grabs like Bolso's shoulder, and like Bolso can probably feel like the tips of Kia's like fingertips like digging into their I'm guessing they use they the pronouns.
Yep.
Yeah, digging into like their shoulder like a bit too tightly, and it's like, you know as well as I do that these are no dreams. These are things that may come to pass if we are not foolish enough to listen to the warning.
Look, everything's fine. It was just a dream. Not everything is a prophecy.
I probably spy Shay, and I'm like, Shay, listen to this nonsense from Bolso. He thinks that Polvo the dreams that I have are just merely dreams. They mean nothing. They are just wanton fears. They're just imaginations of my own subconscious.
I don't know if it's just your imagination. I mean, it could also be the virus.
Me. Infected.
I mean, we were just in close proximity to one of the Tormenta, so it wouldn't be certainly isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Like Kia hops down.
They suspect you, whispering in the back of your mind. They mean to capture you, to imprison you, to cut you up into small pieces, like some kind of specimen.
Oh, that's rough thoughts. I think like Kia looks from both of them and is like with that thought sort of hops down and I think like seeks out Sev probably. It's like Sev.
So
yeah.
Sev, are you one of the people who's around here with wearing their face?
Before answering that, I was going to ask, how does Kia seek out Sev? Like, are you looking for someone in particular, or are you just saying Sev at random people?
That's such a good point.
Is there a Sev signal or something?
We probably do, like with those thoughts of like being consumed like by the quite literally by the community. Like he is probably trying to like hastily walk away from these two belters that don't believe her. And is like sort of we get that sort of circling shot around her right while she's like going Sev, Sev, like yeah, stumbling a little bit.
And I think someone detaches from a conversation somewhat nearby and just kind of fluidly melts into looking not entirely, but quite a bit like Kia. And just what?
Like Kia, like if it's okay, like grabs the front of like whatever Sam's wearing, and it's like, oh gosh, what is she says like, Shay and Bolso are not to be trusted. They're conspiring against us.
Conspiring how?
They're conspiring against me. They keep telling me that the things that I see aren't real. They keep telling me the things I see are just dreams that they won't happen, but they will happen. They think I'm sick. I'm not sick. You can tell me I'm not sick.
Can I tell Kia's not sick?
You can say whatever you want.
I mean, you mentioned that detecting medic infections.
Yeah, so
one of my unlisted skills.
Fantastic. So why don't we have a conflict over here?
That's good.
So here's the question: is the GM fighting, or is Kia fighting? Because if the GM is fighting, the mimetic infection can spread.
Oh.
If Kia's fighting, it can't. And I just realized that that's actually a cool mechanic. That like I just. Oh right, yes.
Yeah, well, it's like time out for a meta chat. Do you want to see how it works? Because I'm fine either
Um,
way.
I'm fine either way.
Uh, how do you feel about Davidic viruses, Ryan?
If you want to infect me, go ahead, but
I don't want to infect you. I just
it's down to the do you want to, fight me attempting to see if you're uh, infected, or do you want to have Jason fight for you?
I have so many thoughts about this. Let's see how infection works. That sounds like a fun thing to do for a finale.
Sounds good. All right. So actually, I mean, mechanically, one of the fun little bits of the Tormenta mutations and the songcraft powers is one of them is you can always choose to infect people. That is a thing that you can do on a success.
Interesting.
Same corruption rules. You just have to win the conflict.
Oh. um. Hmm. Oh, I have so many feelings about that. They're all interesting, good feelings. Um. So if I'm understanding correctly, I can fight, and then if I win, I can infect someone.
Yes.
That's okay.
And you get to recreate the belief. You get to do the wordsmithing of the belief.
Oh God. Um.
Now I want you to win so you can rewrite my beliefs.
Let's try it then. Let's do it.
But for color, I'm gonna say that as she says that, oh, they're conspiring against me. Seb kind of looks over her shoulder at the other people, and again, kind of fluidly, just little bits of them kind of drift into the Seb Gestalt face, where it's sort of like
Right.
acts making the group morph, except it's never totally settled. They
Right.
just creep in.
Sounds good. All right. So let's go through beliefs. Let's go with Kia first. You are a person, so you get a die.
Excellent.
This sounds like an argument.
This is an argument, yes.
You get another die for Belter.
Am I calling someone on? Am I calling? I feel like I'm inadvertently calling people on their shit by saying that Shay and Balsa are full of it and lying.
So if you're effectively calling them on their shit about this community being a safe and peaceful environment, then yeah, that would totally qualify. Because this is not a safe and peaceful environment.
It's not a safe and peaceful environment. We've done a lot of wrong shit and things are going badly.
Yep. Overture, not so much.
Unless you want to cat-free flee from danger, because I had feelings that they were going to eat me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. That's not unreasonable.
I'm going to advocate like hell so I can succeed at this and rewrite my beliefs.
Bastion's children. Let's say no, although I could see traps being a thing, like mental traps, but let's just no, that's a bit of a stretch, so let's skip that.
Cool.
Leader totally applies.
Excellent.
And I'm fairly certain
I'm issuing I was issuing prophecy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 6, I think?
Yep.
Okay.
So Seb. You get a die
So yeah,
for being a person doing a thing. You're dealing with humans.
Yep. And I've got a new face because that's what I do best.
Yep.
And this relates to a song. I don't know if it's the song. It's more tormented.
No, this is not the song.
Okay, so that does not apply.
Threats? Oh yeah.
Oh cool, threats. I'm not really performing triage, and
but
not
for
really
medic,
dealing with
there's
patience
medic
either.
infections.
Because I could spin it that way, or okay, mimetic infections works, sure.
Yeah.
I was going. I'm not considering Kia a patient right now, but
Yeah, so
that's
mimetic
5.
infections is one of the things. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 versus 5.
Excellent.
Roll for your party.
I'll take turquoise dice. I've rolled.
Muting myself as I go to talk. I hit completely the wrong button, so I hadn't rolled yet, but now I have, and I only got an 18 to your. I think it was like 25.
15. Yeah, it's 20 minus 2 because my 2s don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang
Still,
on. Yeah,
you
25.
beat me.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause I
23.
only got an 18.
Would you like to re-roll? So
Oh, I take an
specifically,
extra stress to reroll?
can we define what the goals are of this particular conflict? To detect the Tormenta infection for Sev's side, and to not reveal the Tormenta infection?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, yeah. So, would you like to take strain to see?
Ooh, good.
I mean,
Sorry.
no,
So
you.
like interesting question is like, say if Ryan chooses to re-roll, can I be like, oh well, I'm gonna re-roll then too?
Yes,
Like,
yep, you totally can.
oh, okay,
You
but I
can
can
keep going.
okay.
Sweet, because I'm like, I feel like I ought to because there's a mechanic for that, but also Lauren beat me fair and square, and I want to get rewritten.
Then that's fair. So it's the same corruption mechanic, in that the other person gets what they want, but you get to corrupt them. So Sev recognizes that clearly Kia is infected. Now, Kia, why don't you do some infecting? Sweet infecting.
I would love to.
So you need to do the minimum change possible, but tilt it towards the song. Towards Tormenta.
Oh, interesting. And for tilting it towards Tormenta, what are some good like verbs or like things to
Dominance, rebellion, violence, control, power, hunger.
Nice. Ooh. Interesting.
I would allow sex, drugs, and/or rock and roll. So,
ooh, the identity is private and compassion is what we have is so good. I'm wondering.
like, I've got like 3 different ones bouncing around in the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do it, but let me
gosh.
know if you ever get stumped.
Yeah, I'll try not to take ages. Oh my gosh.
I feel like this has once again come down to me just going, Lauren, be mean to me. Do it. I dare you.
I dare you, mean to me. Oh god. Ooh. I'm just doing a Google search for some words. So like I know the word that I want, I just don't know. It's just not off with my tongue. I said I wanted antonyms, not synonyms. What are you doing to me? What's a good antonym for compassionate? Oh, hang on, I lied. Ooh. Have you got any good words for compassion, Jason?
Yes, so opposite of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cruelty.
I was on a yeah, because I like the idea of, I don't know.
Violence, hatred, anger,
Ooh.
hunger,
I like hunger. I think hunger, callousness, fight is what we have.
like if you want to go super creepy, like super creepy, hunger is private.
Ooh.
That might be a little, I might be X-carding that on myself,
I've X-carded myself before.
but
Oh,
for
good.
dark.
Ooh, I like, ooh. Oh, hunger or greed. Greed might be a new one.
Desire.
Desire. Yeah, actually, I kind of like desire because sort of compassion, I feel like, is sort of like an external like empathy for other people, and like desire is like that same kind of like
Yep.
wanting, but with an internal focus. I think I like, yeah, let's go for desires that we have.
Excellent.
Thank you. There we go. Like that blue. Yeah, done. Now what happens?
Excellent. So, Seb, yep, Kia's totally been infected. I mean, the twitchiness, the evasive gestures. I mean, clearly, you need to help Kia.
But I'm not infected.
Oh yeah, no, Seb totally knows you're infected. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
I was.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think Seb just kind of takes like a very small step back and is like, you're infected. They're right.
I think like Kia like takes that sort of like shoulder step backwards and looks at you like, no, I'm fine.
And it's not like there's any treatment for any of these, so there's not a ton I can do for Kia, short of toss her in the sludge pit outside of town.
That's the valid option. And actually, something's whispering in the back of your mind. The sludge pit is the only way to be safe.
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. We can quarantine you. So you don't spread it further.
I know what quarantine means. I'm not going to quarantine.
I can't let you stay here.
Well,
And I think in an uncharacteristically brusque thing, Zev just turns and like snaps at somebody starting to approach, like, no, stay away, you can't get near us.
I think like Kia probably tries to bolt at that, just like to get away from everyone.
So if this is okay, like I think I'm gonna try to hit Kia in the back of the base of her skull with like the butt of my rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you
and
go do
knock
that?
her out. Is that
I am okay with it.
okay? I feel like maybe I've been sort of observing this interaction from afar. I heard Sev. I know Sev is like, like a medical professional. So my suspicion has been confirmed, and it's time for some tough love from
Yep.
my fellow Belcher.
I gave you one order, and what did you do?
Yep,
Um,
that's fair.
do we need a roll for that, or how do we?
So does Kia not want to be hit with the butt of a rifle in the back of her skull?
I would like not to be hit in the back of my head.
Oh, right. Then that is a conflict.
Excellent.
Oh, by the way, do mark a point of strain for winning that conflict, Lauren.
Oh, sweet.
So, all right. So technically, we should be using the list that Kia has because you're both belters.
Okay.
So here's the question: do you want to define something about belters?
I'm more than happy to. What do you have in mind?
I'm thinking that you all have a lot of experience with ambushes.
Yeah, I mean, that probably would make sense. Like we're like these really small communities living in remote regions, and probably we have like, some hostile forces that occasionally like pop up, and then
Yep.
we can't take them by sheer brute force. We've got to sneak up on them.
Yep.
I dig it.
In which case, this is mostly a let's define belters more, because both of you will gain this die.
Oh, yeah, right. It's a wash.
But it's a good thing to define.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
totally.
both of you can die. Missionary versus Marshal. This is definitely capture a criminal.
Oh, yes.
And this is definitely preventing violence. At least I think it's preventing violence. I mean, I'll actually let Kia decide that.
I would say you're a little bit robot-y. Jason was.
Oh, he was saying, does it preventing violence apply to this scenario?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think if Kia is able to, Kia is going to do much the similar, like sort of deflective martial arts style rather than like inflicting violence upon someone.
Overture is helping Kia flee from danger.
Oh crud! I don't think I get a die from that category.
I think that fighting unarmed from Shay, and fighting in close quarters. Well, this isn't really close quarters.
Yeah, we're like on the public square.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that Shay gets that, but Kia doesn't. So you're tied up again. This seems like weapons. This seems like weapons, a thing that a veteran can do.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, I think I have 5.
I don't know if Prospero will help.
Can I? I was going to say like that, like as a leader, right? Like you have to be very wary about assassination attempts like this, and you have to like.
If you want to make leader paranoia as the 4th trait, I will totally give it to you.
Oh yeah, totally.
Fantastic. All leaders are paranoid.
And with good reason, as it turns out.
Yeah.
um. Ooh.
So we're like 5-5, or what are we at?
Yeah, I think you're 5-5.
Okay, I got
Okay.
one. You can I also define a thing for prosperity, kind of like some kind of like defensive ward or like voice like in one's head that.
Yeah. You could have warded.
Yeah.
Likewise, I will also allow our sentinel to have something that would be appropriate for this.
Sentinel. I'm trying to think of what would be fictionally appropriate for somebody who's like a recon.
Well, I mean, sneaking in and taking out people is kind of like stealth.
Right. So I guess maybe occasionally it has to go beyond just the info gathering. Sometimes I actually do have to resort to some violence. Okay, yeah. That does make sense. So more like a stealthy attack.
Yep.
I'm a little bit out of room. I'll stick it somewhere here.
Brilliant. So that pushes you both to 6.
All right.
Excellent.
See what happens.
So let's clear the dice. And wonderful. Now go for it.
May the best belter win.
Sounds good.
Ugh.
Oh. I might hang on. I feel like I lost this tremendously because my 3s don't count. So for me, that's 4, 8, 13.
What is my strain? I'm at 2. Shit, that actually knocks out 2 of my 2. So the way that strain works, it's only for that particular digit, right? So
yeah.
Okay. So then I got 6 plus 11 is 17. Is that right? I think so. What do you have, Lauren?
I have 13.
Aha.
Can I take a strain though?
Yep, you can.
I'll totally take a strain. If like I'm gonna, okay, oh god, this is getting real dicey.
Welcome to the strain mechanic.
Okay, well, I might as well re-roll that 4 because it doesn't count anymore. I'll keep it at 5. Oh, okay. That's 16, 20. Because that 4 doesn't count.
All right. How much do I want to knock you out? I guess I might as well use a strain. Well, I really want to. I had this idea of like trying to.
You might be corrupted if you lose.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, then I better strain myself. Okay. So I'm going to spend the strain, and then I'm going to re-roll my. Ooh, definitely the 2s, obviously. I think I'm just going to re-roll my 2s. I think I can probably catch it. So 17 and you're at 20, is that right? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. Son of a biscuit. Oh, wait. Wait, so I have 17 plus 4. 21. Haha.
Oh, rough. Ooh.
Do you want to be knocked out, or do you want some rerolls?
I was thinking mathematically.
You can totally win. You could totally win. You should totally trust the GM.
Just thinking, to beat 21 when my 5s don't count.
So where's your so your strain is at 4 right now?
Yeah, so I need to bump up to 5, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing that would happen mechanically.
Oh yeah.
If you won, you would also get a point of strain, and then you would hit the
6,
sixth
right?
point of strain, and we would try out the moment of grief mechanic.
Oh, God.
As either your character or an NPC is taken out.
Interesting. Oh god. I wish I was better at maths on the spot. So I need to get. No, I feel like the odds are so against me because I'd need to get at least like 5 4s and a 6, or like a couple of 6s and some. Oh yeah, the odds are just not in my favor.
Yeah, no, the odds are not on your side on this. You should probably just be taken out at this point. Like that's actually what you need is an ally who's helping you, who's taking the strain on your behalf.
So I guess I'll let myself be knocked out.
It is very stressful.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I take an additional strain because I
take another point of strain for winning the conflict.
Okay, right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
This is why only the victor gets strain.
Yeah, so I think I just sort of sneak up behind, and I guess because you did put up a fight, so I think maybe you try to twist away.
Yeah,
like at the last minute.
Yeah, like my paranoid instincts kick in, and it's just not quite quick enough. Yeah, you know my fighting style. You're a belter. You can probably anticipate some of it.
Right, I anticipate your anticipation, but oh no, maybe it even goes a little bit worse. And I instead of like catching you in the base of the skull, like I catch you like in the jaw or something. I don't know. And then you go down like a sack of potatoes.
Was there like a tree root, like a bone white tree root underneath?
That's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
And I'm like, oh, that's not exactly how I wanted that to go down, but
so remind me the question of the scene.
Oh, right. It was Kia's interpretation, how she imposed meaning on her dream.
Okay. I think this is that the interpretation and the meaning of the dream was probably something akin to all my friends are going to betray me and attack me.
It came true.
It looks like an attack, but it's really helping.
Yeah, it's totally helping. I mean, I don't want to speak for Kia, but yeah. All right. So why don't we close the scene and then evaluate beliefs? So, identity is private. I think we actually did confirm that because there was a lot of digging into Kia and her sort of inner landscape. So you can get a point of insight off of that. Desire is all we have. What do you think?
I don't think I really pushed that, given that I didn't really do anything but try to convince Kia not to give everyone Tormenta afterward.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Kia, singular minds corrupt.
Do I have to like prove this is not true, or just test to like be prominent?
So is it true or disproven? I think it might be disproven.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, if this is from my perspective, I feel like everyone else is corrupted and I'm the one that knows
Yeah,
what's going on. Yeah, totally.
So get a point. And community consumes the individual.
I think that was proven, right?
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Do I get a thing for that, or does
Yep.
that
Yes, you do.
weird?
So then that pushes you up to 5.
So close to another discovery.
Shay. The virus plays off our weaknesses. Yep. That totally applies.
Yeah.
And survival is a lottery. Yeah, you can get that.
Sweet.
So that pushes you up to 5. So no one gets an interlude. And everyone's walking wounded. Yep. So let's go to the next scene. I think the next scene is probably about 6 hours later. This is probably going to be in the FSS Defiant, where Mars Core maintains the brig for anyone who is infectious. And Kia is waking up. With an aching head, of course. All right. Lauren, why don't you figure out the tilt?
Ooh, let's think. Um, ooh, I have so many thoughts. How much do I want to gaslight my own character? That's the question. Um,
A lot?
yeah. I think I I think Kia wakes up to that same pained, angry screaming, but it's not coming from my mind. It's coming from like the sound system we have here.
Right. All right. So pick someone to do the question.
Oh, question. Ryan. And I'm totally fine if like people perceive the screaming not to be happening. I'm fine if that's the thing that only certain people can hear.
What's a good question for this? Because, like, is there screaming is a thing? Or, like, what do we do with Kia? Or, I don't know.
There's a lot of options.
Guess I'm sort of curious if Kia's gonna manage to somehow talk or torment her way out of quarantine because she is a leader. But I don't know if that's too pointed.
I'll
Jason
let
froze
Kia
for
make that call.
I'm good with that. I feel like that's my MO is going to be like, get out somehow. Find someone who doesn't, find someone who finally believes me. Um, Maybe, yeah. Maybe an NPC that I desperately need as a meat shield for when I finally corrupt myself.
All right.
So I guess the question is, how will Kia escape her unjust confinement?
All right. So, the screaming echoes from the speakers. And it actually feels comforting. Yeah. It almost feels strangely like you're at some kind of concert or the like, and like everyone's screaming together. You're at a sports event, like we can do this, yeah. Some of the guards are turning to look and are freaking the hell out.
Of course, this feels good because this, there's no discordance between the screaming and myself, for I likewise feel that anger and that pain at being confined in such a way and not believed and trapped here unjustly. You Ooh, yeah. I think so. I think with these, I kind of want to tell these gods like I can make this stop. I can stop the pain that you're in.
You can stop the screaming. No, don't listen to her. She's infected.
You have little faith. Whether I'm infected or not has nothing to do with my ability to help you, to soothe you. It is my job here to provide peace and community.
Yeah,
Oh.
so this is a conflict.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to let the infected potential cannibal out. No matter how nicely the cannibal is smiling at them.
Oh yeah, I'm muchly nice badger at the moment.
We can totally trust Badger.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no problem.
I'm warded.
All right. So you're a person doing a thing.
I'm a person doing a thing.
This is an argument.
This is an argument.
Or an ambush. One or the other.
Social ambush. I feel like I'm trying to prevent like violence in a way.
I don't think that works.
No problem. I'm just advocating. You
are fleeing from danger.
I'm fleeing from danger.
You're rigging traps.
Yes.
Paranoia.
Yep.
And do you want to issue prophecy?
Yeah. Like I think I'll spout what I saw in my dream, which is like, this has nothing to do with your eye. It is greater than this. This is Prospera. Like this is Polvo, like crying out in agony, and I am a conduit to relieve that pain, that stress, that torment.
All right. So that sounds good. So I am rolling a number of dice. And that number of dice is 5.
Keep listening to the roller. Whoops. Okay, I'll roll 6. Turquoise dice. Ooh. That's 17 on my dice.
And what is your strain?
5.
Well, isn't it like 4?
Oh yeah, sorry, it is It is 4. Yes, it is 4. Oh, so those don't count. Whoops. So that's even worse. That's only like 9.
Yeah. So here is where things go. Let's go with okay. Let's just go with something nice and simple. So don't listen to her. One of the guards walks over to the side of the room, presses a button, and jolts of electricity shoot up your legs as the electrified floor shocks you and knocks you back. So, do either of the two of you other players want to be present in the scene or be showing up at this point?
Sev's totally going to be around.
All right. So you show up and you see, or were you one of the guards?
I don't think I'm one of the guards because yeah, you don't have the medic guard something. You have the medic go medic stuff.
If they know that you're a doppelganger. So, but yeah, fair. So yeah, you show up. What's your face like this week? Well, today. Well, this hour.
I think it doesn't really look like anybody, but it kind of looks vaguely familiar. It's just incredibly nondescript. It's hard to make out who I might be, or if I'm pretending to be someone, or if I just blended everyone in town together, or what. But the overwhelming sense is that it's just very vague. If you were to describe Sev, it'd be the one with the face, and I think hair.
Yep. The one with the face and the hair is a good description. Fantastic. So yeah, you show up and just as you see Kia fly backwards, shocked. What do you do?
Sorry, I'm just cracking up that Kia's name accidentally got replaced by a row of U's, so it looks like it's just kind of incoherent screaming for Kia's name.
I think I may have accidentally done that. Let me hit. There we go. Hey, Sev, do you want to coordinate by any chance, like in this? Because there's like no way I would have willingly given Kia over to a bunch of goddamn Martians. So I figure something must have gone wrong after I knocked her out. Like I was gonna like go and I think my idea was gonna like go and do something to, I don't know, toughen her up to get that weak, that the virus out of her.
Yeah.
And
I think
then
Sev was pissed that you interposed after whichever, probably they for the moment, clearly said, no, you need to back off. And probably did I like, nope, I am taking care of this. You are doing something else where you could fight me on it. But Sev doesn't really want your input
okay,
in a
fair enough.
harsher than usual Sev sort of way.
I have upset Sev.
Yes, you're the worst. This is all your fault. Sev couldn't possibly be contaminated with something that makes them pissed.
Yep.
Um, hmm. Yes, I'm trying to figure out whether I'm even gonna show up in this scene or not. If I do, then it would be
You
an
can totally be audience and play one of the guards.
Yeah. Or if
yeah.
you need a reason to sneak in there, I could come up with a reason to have asked Shay in. I don't know.
Well, I could just, I mean, it would be conceivable that I'm just pissed off that the Martians stole Kia from me after I knocked her out, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna storm in there and get her back. Um, yeah, yeah. That sounds like it'll be an interesting sort of mixture of elements that will lead to drama.
Yes,
So I
engineering
kick in a
rescue.
door or something around this time.
All right. So yeah, you see a scorched belter on the floor writhing in agony.
Hmm, not cool. Um, yeah, I think I probably like draw a pistol or something like that, and you know,
Hey. The guards uh reach for the rifles.
I guess I want to like have like make it clear like I want to like pull my pistol faster than they can get to their rifles so that
Right.
it's clear that they don't have a chance, and if anybody makes another move that they're going to get shot, and so that they just won't make another move.
Yeah, that sounds bold. Let's see how that works. All right. So, you're a person doing a thing. You're a daredevil.
Yes.
Yep. You are resolving a legal dispute in the Belter fashion.
Absolutely.
Uh, this is not overture. Uh,
No. Not fighting unarmed or any of that other stuff related to Fame and Sentinel, I don't think.
um, fighting allies would be a perfectly valid option for Famous Sentinels
Oh, interesting.
because
Okay.
you were fighting a whole bunch of infected folks.
Right. Um, Definitely we're dealing with weapons.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
uh,
not so much.
yeah. Okay. Five is good.
All right. And I'm dealing with uh, the threat on this is going to be a threat to I think that's going to be a threat 3 vector 2. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, because there's a lot of you. Um, yeah, this could get super messy super fast.
Oh crap. Yeah, my stress is a 4. That's bad.
All right. Oh, ew. Okay.
Um, yep. I am screwed.
Um,
That's 9, 11, 13, 15.
um, so because I can do this and I like doing this, I'm going to say that civilization plays off our weaknesses. Is your new belief?
Oh, I've been corrupted.
Yep.
How'd that happen? Because my stress went up too, or strain went up too high?
I believe I won that conflict.
Oh, I see.
I
If you
let
lose a
you win.
conflict.
You get whatever you want. They back down.
Oh, I see. I see.
You are clearly the dominant person in this situation.
Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah. So then I'm able to get the I draw my pistol first, and that yeah, they know that they don't have a chance. Um, and so I order open this. I'm imagining some kind of like a force field kind of thing that can be turned off, right?
Yep,
Like, turn off this damn force field.
they do. They do whatever you say.
Um, and then while kind of keeping my pistol still trained on them, I'm trying to drag uh good old Badger out of the maybe like a fireman's kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Badger is like weeping, but you're not sure if it's because of the pain or if because like the screaming is so beautiful.
Yep. Um, you're also being cared. For once, you're being cared by one of the pack.
Mm.
So can I attempt to stop Shay from hauling
Yes, you
Badger
can.
out
I
of here?
encourage-
Because breaking quarantine isn't good for anyone.
Yep. Also, you can actually win conflicts.
Right.
True, I don't have any strain. I am remarkably chill about all of this.
Oh, does my strain go up because I
Nope.
won?
Nope.
No. Okay. Got it.
Technically, I won.
Okay.
So yeah. So Seb, you are dealing with humans. Yep.
So your roboting, I didn't catch any of that.
Okay. Seb is dealing with humans.
Yep.
The person doing a thing. Of I don't know if a new face really applies.
I have a new face since I last did something, but it's
That-
not like a brand new face.
Yeah, it's not a brand new face, so let's say no. It's lost its novelty. Um Starlift. I'm not sure.
I don't think that really applies.
Threats totally applies.
Yeah.
And mimetic infections totally applies.
Woo, I get 4 dice.
Yep. Shay, I assume that you want to not be stopped by the Mercurio.
Uh, yes, that is correct. What exactly is Sev trying to do to me?
I think Sev is just hands up going, no, you can't take her out of here. You need to let us take care of this. I don't... Electrocuting her was too far, but we can't let her get back out.
Gotcha. So you're like trying to convince me, like appeal to my uh rational brain, such as it is. Um,
Survival is a lottery, and you're stacking the deck against us. Come on.
okay,
So there's
so
definitely
then
an argument
yeah, so definitely an argument.
and a person.
And I'm a person, right? So that's two. Investigating crime, capture a criminal, resolve a legal dispute. It it, it resembles capturing a criminal and resolving a legal dispute. I would argue.
I have jurisdiction here, not you.
I answer to a higher authority, my conscience.
I will totally allow vigilantism as your fourth option for Marshall.
Ooh, there we go. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. While I go dark. Okay. Don't have to spell vigilantism, but we'll come back to that later.
Fantastic.
So I think that was 4 advanced tech, not so much. Flee from
Fleeing
danger
from
a little
danger,
bit.
yep.
Yeah. Detect signals, identify choristers, fight unarmed. I don't think so. But threats, yes, 6.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
That seems about it, right? Okay.
All right. So I believe that's what, 4 versus 6. Let me clear all the dice.
And all I have to do is not roll any 4s.
All right.
Oh,
Wow,
not too shabby,
that's
actually.
terrifying. I love it.
Not too bad.
So Sev,
Sev gets 17.
Yeah, I got 22.
Yeah, so I'm going to take
Sev,
some
would you like to
strain and
reroll
reroll.
some dice?
I would indeed. I can freak myself out. Why not? Do I reroll as many as I want for one strain?
I recommend not rerolling your 6s.
So I added a 5, but I still haven't beaten, I don't think.
So 17.
It's 19 now.
Oh yeah, 19. Right, and the other side is 21. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we know who's winning this conflict. So Shade, do you want to further the infection and get stopped? Or do you want to escape?
I mean, there's no turning back now. Um, I think I pause like as though I'm like contemplating Sev's words like earnestly, and then I'm like, nah, and then I just like continue to
Right.
to leave.
Right.
And yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to book it out of the this vessel and take this is getting weird. I don't know if I fully thought this out. And take Badger to someplace secluded where I can like I don't know uh, try to figure out how to cure her. Yeah.
Right. So maybe the Mind Palace?
Let's see.
Or the septic pool. I'm fine with that.
Oh God.
Look, I'm curing you.
Um, that's an interesting idea. I mean, I don't think I necessarily want to like throw her into the septic pool as a first measure, but that could be like the backup, like if nothing else works.
Yeah.
And then we kind of bringing the scenario sort of like full circle to the beginning. I don't know. Lauren, the real person, how do you feel about
Yeah, where do we go from here?
Mostly bad places.
Yeah. I'm fine taking it to the septic pool. It'll be interesting if the conflict comes down to does Lauren's character go into the septic pool and then like if I lose that, what happens to my character? Um uh yeah. What are you thinking, Larry?
Um, so, oh shit. And then my belief is corrupted. Is that the belief that's, oh yeah, now oh no. Okay. Because this was, I think a lot of my ideas were based off of the idea, like, the prior belief about viruses play off our weaknesses. So now that civilization plays off our weaknesses, that's adds an interesting wrinkle to things. I think probably, I don't know how this is going to play out now, but I think maybe the septic pool is an interesting site to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where we threw the thing in the first place, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
probably some stuff we can do there. Yeah, that's good.
All right. So let's go through and end the scene and evaluate. So, how are people's beliefs looking? Identity is private. Not sure on that front. Desire is all we have. Yeah, I think so. I'll give you that. So that will get you your third moment of discovery. Kia, singular minds corrupt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we saw the gods freaking out and shit, and yeah, I almost feel this is a continuation of like, no one's fucking listening to my prophecy like everyone else.
And community consumes the individual. Yep.
Yeah, I think that so much for the same reason. I think we hit that one again as well.
Yep. So then you're jumping up to 7, and you'll trigger a moment of discovery as well.
Yay! What does it mean again?
So that's one of those interlude type moments where you reduce strain because you might want to reduce some strain.
Yeah, totally.
All right, and Shay, civilization plays on our weaknesses. I think so. You totally said screw this to civilization.
Yeah, I mean, especially if like Mars core kind of represents civilization in a way, yeah.
And survival is a lottery.
At least to the extent that I'm
Unless like you like rebutted it because you had like conscious active agency and choice and
yeah, you made your own luck.
Interesting.
Yeah. So why don't you go up to 7?
Okay.
All right. So that's 3 moments of discovery. So let's start with Sev.
Oops.
All right, I was rereading the description of moment of discovery. I'm gonna ask Kia, why or when did you start speaking with Polvo or believing you could? Is that new to this planet? Did you speak to the belt? It's a bunch of questions, but they all kind of circle around the what the heck, you're talking to a planet.
Yeah.
And we can frame a scene around this, or I can sort of just pass it. Like, what do you want? What did you envision, Siv?
I envisioned you answering a question. I don't really care how. Frame a scene, whatever. I expect it's going to be self-indulgent and full of bullshit.
It is. I mean, I could quickly frame a montagey scene around, like, sort of like some flashback, right? Like back when we sort of like first got here.
True. Yes, I suppose it would be cool to have a flashback to before you were infected with Fermenta and going to kill us all.
Yes. Oh, it's probably around like our gathering place, the Tree of Tears, right? Like back when I was probably talking more at people rather than like screaming at them for not listening to me. And I guess, yeah. So if you pull me aside and ask me this question about like, well, you've changed a bit since the beginning. And I think the response is like, I've always felt attuned to the numerous planets within all of these galaxies, and each of them has like a unique voice. Like each of them has a different, it's like layered with different colors um, that shift and change as like the stars like age and will eventually die. Um, but Polvo's voice is one that's always spoken to me in the back of my mind. And its voice grew louder as we came toward it. I knew that I would find a home here, and a home here I have found. Polvo Polvo is like a warm hug. It's like a lazy morning when you're wrapped up in a duvet, and just being close to Polvo is so satisfying and right and warm. And I, of course, am open to listening to other galaxies and planets, but Polvo is special to me. I hope that was
Brilliant.
self-indulgent and bullshitty enough.
Yes, that was sufficient.
Fantastic. So both of you remove one strain. And next up, Lauren, you get to ask a question. Might I recommend of the other belter?
Yeah.
Because Shay is looking rough.
Yeah, I mean, I have a question for Shay, which is, what do you wish you could tell me but can't?
Ooh, nice.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I think maybe I think what I can't tell you is that despite like my expressed cynicism towards your whole speaking to Polvo and I think maybe I actually believe you. I think you do have some sort of special connection, and maybe you're expressing it in a way that like aesthetically like is aesthetically offensive to Shay and his like sort of brusque demeanor. But yeah, I actually don't think you're full of shit when it comes to Prospero being a Prospero. I'll never tell you if but yeah.
I love it.
Nice. All right. Both of you remove one strain. And last but not least, Shay, why don't you ask someone? Probably Porkia a question.
Yeah, I should address it to Kia, but I wanted to ask Seth a question.
Well, then ask
I mean,
Seth
she
a
only
question.
has two
It's fine.
spots.
Yeah,
She's
go for gold.
fine.
Ask
She'll be
her.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
So if you have a core identity, how do you maintain it? Given that you're always assuming other identities. I guess this could be a short answer if the answer was no to the first part, to the conditional.
I think probably we see Sev talking to probably not even Shay, just someone casually asking, like, but how do I know which is the real you if you're always wearing different faces and you have to mimic my face right now? That's a little bit rude. And so just going like, kind of gesturing to the almost like a flight suit or something they're wearing, which immediately shifts into a completely different outfit, and like, But you were wearing a leather jacket yesterday. How do I know who you are? You're wearing blue? I never would have imagined. It changes everything about you. And just kind of contemptuously walks away.
Nice.
Perfect. All right. And with that out of the way, folks, Shay can remove one more
Okay.
strain. And effectively, I think it's a reasonable thing to say that we leave off with a discussion between the Tormenta infected Shay and the Tormenta infected Kia by the septic pool.
I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
I mean, Seb is more than welcome as well. You know.
The septic pool is bubbling. But the two of you are currently alone because no one comes to the septic pool for obvious reasons. It reeks, of course. And there's odd greenish smoke coming off of this stuff. I mean, so much stuff is leaking into this pool. It's kind of disgusting. So yeah. So let's punt this over to Sev to come up with the tilt.
I mean, it might have been just another nice day sitting by the septic pool, enjoying the distinct aroma of that bubbling mess. Except that, and the screaming over the sound system must not have just been over the sound system, because you still hear it. Like, not quite with your ears, but sort of with your soul out by the septic pool.
Yep. So, why don't you punt the question to someone?
Lauren, because I picked on Larry last time.
Let's go for, why is this screaming only getting louder?
All right. Bubble, 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 scream, bubble, bubble, scream.
I'm curious, Shay, have you put down Kia at this point, or are you still carrying Kia Dead Man's style towards the septic pool?
I think I've put you down. I think I probably would have tried to like put restraints on you of some sort. So maybe just like an electric cord, whatever I could find, like wrapped around your like wrists or something like that. Probably also like your ankles. Just to make sure that you can't like run off. And yeah, and then we're just like, you know, by the side of this pool, this gurgling pool of nastiness.
And I think like Kia awkwardly drops to her knees, right? And like places her like cuffed hands as best she can, like on the ground, like puts an ear cheek like to the, even though it's like disgusting, to like the ground. And closes her eyes and it's like, can you not like feel that? Like the vibrations that are coming from the ground? It's like a harmonious chorus, like voice vibrating from the earth.
it's talk like that got you in the Martian holding cell in the first place. You know, we gotta. And then I think, yeah, Shay kind of pauses and is like, "Fuck, I don't have a plan here."
I know you. I know you believe Shay, and I think like Kia opens like sharp like badger eyes, and like as she says like, "I know you believe Shay."
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. It's okay. It's scary to accept sometimes, but I think you'll feel it too if you join me.
Join you how? Like let you contaminate me with the virus? I heard Sev, he said that you're contaminated. I mean, I wasn't going to leave you, to, let the Martians have their way with you. We can beat this thing.
And how would you suggest we beat it?
Well, that's the problem. Um,
Insert innuendo here. Awkward silence by the romantic septic pool.
uh,
I think
hmm.
like yeah. Oh God, how much narrative control do I have to like have the coffin like resurface?
Oh,
Oh, damn.
I don't think the coffin resurfaces.
Ooh, what do you
I
think
think
happens?
an arm uh, claws out of uh, the pond.
Oh, and before it does, right? Like Kia does like the shh, 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 and it's like it's coming.
Yep, an arm, and then another arm, and then a third arm come out of the water, and
Whoa,
then
wait.
you see this misshapen head um, coming out. It has actually 8 eyes going up the skull. Uh, and it turns and looks at you.
Okay. Um, I guess I do my best to repress a scream and start to frantically cut at the cords binding Badger.
All right.
Um,
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So you undo the cords, and the thing stares at you both and says, uh, I hunger. Feed me, servant. And both of you feel like this would be the best thing in the world. You would feel so much better if you fed the dominant pack leader.
uh, so I think I want to resist that urge.
Yep, sounds good. That sounds like a perfectly reasonable conflict.
Okay.
So you are a person. Trying to think, is this a ambush? This seems ambushy.
It's a bit ambushy, yeah.
Yeah, no. Fleeing from danger. Yep.
Fleeing from danger. I don't know if this has anything to do. I guess the
Yeah, not
Fame is more the
really.
song, but veterans and threats, that seems to apply.
Yep. Yep, you can get that.
And protect the location, perform reconnaissance. Not so much. So I would say maybe like 4.
Yeah. I think that I'm rolling. This is affecting effectively one person, and it's someone who is corrupted. So I think that's 5 dice, which is going to be rough. Oh, but I rolled very poorly. So,
Haha.
and you did not roll poorly.
Awesome.
So yeah, you are not driven to feed the horror with the flesh of your colleague. So, colleague, how you doing, Kia?
I think I would also like to resist it because while I appreciate the song it's singing, I am a leader here. Like I am the alpha voice of Volvo.
Also, Larry, do be sure to mark your strain.
Oh, I think I just did. I went up to 3.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So, Kia, you're a person. This is an ambush. This is preventing violence.
Indeed.
Are you fleeing from danger?
I want to. I almost feel like I'm in this case standing up to dangers. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, so maybe not. Okay. Resisting fear. Yep.
Yes. Oh, am I helping a follower?
I think you are helping a follower.
Because I know that Shay follows me now.
Yep. Oh, and warded also works.
Excellent. Almost saved me. Did I roll? Are you?
It's not showing up for me. Can you see mine?
I think it's still the same dice.
I re-rolled.
I'll
So
try
I've
to
got a 1, 2, 4, 5, 5.
Okay, cool. Then I'll do this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would. That's a 11 plus 3, so that's a 4. I've got 14 currently. I rolled so many 2s.
Right.
Can I take a strain?
Yes, you can.
I'll take a strain.
I, in fact, encourage this.
I will re-roll my horrific number of 2s and a 3, I think. Okay, so that's 11, 15, 18, 21, 22.
That does seem a little bit better.
Just a fraction.
All right. Fantastic. So both of you, so Mercury extra strain,
Oh, yeah.
and both of you managed to avoid the order that is being screamed into your skull. Yeah. So what do you do?
Good question.
I feel like running away is an option.
Running away is a good option.
Yeah, running away is a good option.
Like I feel like I've never seen anything like this probably before. Like I've seen people under the influence of the song, but not like a mutated like demon tormenta. Like I think seems kind of new to me. Um, and I was not expecting this, so
Yeah. Yep. So it like if you two just want to flee, you're good. I'm totally fine with you just fleeing, leaving this thing prowling outside of the settlement.
Yeah, it would be almost poetic to try and crush it underneath the ship that our colleague was caught under. But I
It
feel it's gonna
would.
take some time to set it up. Unless one of us is bait for it.
You could probably try to make it work.
oh, is this the same location where
Yep.
the oh, okay. Oh, that's a really cool idea actually.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
That can be the bait,
Um,
then it probably will protect me.
So which of you wants to roll that? I suspect Shay would probably be a better option.
I think so.
I guess I have less strain, so yeah. Um, okay. One automatically. This
Salvage.
is definitely salvage.
Vigilantism.
Vigilantism.
Dropping a ship on someone is definitely an act of a vigilante.
Um, I feel like if there are any like leftover, because the people who were here like salvaging before, they had like different like devices that they were using. Like
Yeah.
maybe I can use one of those devices to assist in the dropping of the ship. In which case, advanced tech might be implicated.
I'll allow it.
Somewhat begrudgingly, but okay, I'll take it. Detect signals. Fight unarmed? I don't know. Perhaps
yeah.
not. Okay.
Threats?
Threats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. This is a threat. This is definitely a threat.
And
that's probably about it.
about it. Okay.
What you really need is Rayhan. That's the specific person you want to deal with this problem. But, what can you do? All right, so let's clear these dice. And I'm continuing to roll 5 dice.
Uh-oh. What was my thing?
So
4?
you've got 10. So I have a total of 17.
Crap.
So rerolls might be handy. If only you had a friend who'd be able to take strain on your behalf.
I mean, I could do it.
I mean, I'm only at 3 right now, so I could just.
Yes, but it's going to hurt your chances of being successful in the future in the reroll.
Oh, I see.
I can pop out of nowhere and attempt to help, but that might be stretching things a bit.
Yeah.
That's
Turns out you're the horror.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah, and the horror says in Seb's voice, "Hey, join me back in the gloopy pool. It's super awesome."
It has jets.
Got you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, do you want Lauren's help?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, Kia, mark one strain, and
gladly.
And then Shay can re-roll the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay. That's an
Yeah.
improvement. A big improvement.
21.
So 9, 21. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So why don't you describe it?
And Badger should, feel free to jump in at any point in this description. Like, I mean, you got to get yourself set up as the bait, so maybe you should go first.
Oh yeah, yeah, like a badger like is running at like a pace slower than like she usually would to try and get this thing on her tail. It's probably doing like the zigzagging and stuff as it like makes a lunge for her, hits like this awful swampy water and like has to again like high knee it through like the sludge. And probably does like a disgusting dive underneath like a precarious part of like where this ship is like teetering from having been like jacked up or something from like
Yep.
a previous salvage crew. Yeah, and you can feel free to take it over.
Yeah. So like, as soon as you passed by that vessel, and then this demonic tormenta then is following after you. Yeah, that's when I don't know, I hit a button or something like that that releases the ship from its like jacked up position, and then I feel like it's not just gonna slam into him. Like I mean, this is a really messed up vehicle, maybe from the salvaging, and so there's I'm trying to think how it would look. Like there is like some sort of like protruding like metal thing that wouldn't normally be there on the vessel, and so as it slams into the demon, it like actually impales
Yeah, like
him. Like
skeleton bits of like the rib cage, whatever of like the ship kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, nails him, and like as it's driving him back, into the sludge.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds perfect. And all of you can rest comfortably knowing that the Scourge of Tormenta is dealt with for good. There's clearly no more influence of Tormenta now that you've crushed this abomination.
Sure, Batter's totally cured.
Yep. I mean, it was all stemming from the abomination, so it's fine. All right.
Nice.
So, let's go through beliefs one last time. I don't think Sevs apply. Singular minds corrupt.
I mean, the thing tried to like corrupt mine and Shay's mind.
Yep.
Yep.
And
like,
community consumes the individual. I think that was disproven.
I think it was that was the individual trying to consume the community.
Yep. So why don't you move up to 9?
Yeah, I grew.
Civilization preys off our weaknesses. What do you think?
I mean, I think to the extent that, again, if Mars core represents civilization, I was trying to get Badger away from them, with this very sort of poorly conceived idea that I'm gonna like somehow, I don't know, yeah, sort of cure her on my own. So maybe in that sense, I don't know.
All right. I'm fine with that. Survival is a lottery. Yep. And you won.
Woohoo!
So that's 9. Brilliant. So, moments of growth. So what how this works is that each of you gets to are people fine running like 10 minutes longer? So each of you gets Kia and Shay each get to trigger moments of growth, which are sort of like discoveries, but instead of asking someone a question, you identify you're going to be changing one of your beliefs. So you start a conversation with someone else about your belief. You can either pick that belief that you're going to either accept or reject entirely, or you can leave it open to where the conversation goes. You can do a twofer and have Kia and Shay talking about what they just witnessed and their experiences. And then when that's done, you'll be effectively either copying over your belief into conviction one, or writing the opposite of it. So this could totally be like 2 weeks later in front of the Tree of Tears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I must want to. If I'm workshopping my second belief, I almost feel like that's changed a bit into sort of like. I saw a lot of people trying to consume things, and I feel like I saw like the community's fear consuming individuals within it. It was justified fear, but it was still fear. And then sort of like this individualistic hunger consuming parts of the community. So like, playing around with like putting a word in there like fear or greed or like hunger or like
So note that you're either putting exactly this belief or the opposite of this belief into your conviction.
I see. Whew.
This also just becomes a thing that just you stop questioning. It's just true.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a bonus die every time you support it in a conflict.
Interesting.
Did you want to take Jason's suggestion by just like having a convo by the tree and
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
okay.
I'm okay to play it out too. I don't know which one I'm changing or keeping.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. So again, like I'm really sorry about hitting you in the back of the head like that. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It's okay, Shay. Bruises and wounds heal, and I think in a way that was almost meant to be. Imagine if we hadn't been there. Imagine if that thing had gotten loose on our community. That was you and I that stopped it. If you and I had not been there, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about that a lot. It was just think about all of the little coincidences that conspire to put us in that spot at that time. I mean, it almost seems like it's, I don't know, like too much to be a coincidence. I I don't know. You're always talking about Polvo. I mean, do you think there's a do you think do you think that was there was like a plan? Like that was like somehow meant to happen that way?
It's hard to say in hindsight, to look back at things and piece together a sense of what happened, for there are a lot of coincidences that build up the tapestry of the fabric of our reality. And yet, I I do not think it is coincidence that Polvo regurgitated up that thing. Polvo did its best to help us and aid us in a time when we needed it, despite the fact that we did not listen to its cries of fear and pain at the thought of putting that thing deep within its being. I apologize. I feel like that was not a straight answer you were seeking, but I too have been thinking about it for some time, and I suppose I have just one question for you, Shay, which is, do you trust me after everything that's happened?
I think I think there are some things that I don't fully comprehend. I thought I knew how the universe worked, and now I'm not so sure. And I think you may have access to something that I don't know if I'll ever fully understand. So so yes.
There are so many things that we will never come to understand in our lifetime. So ever, there is one thing that I'm I'm sure of and that I know, and that is I trust you, Shay. You were there for me when I needed it, and you acted to save me, perhaps in a time we did not understand if it was the right thing to do, in a time where you perhaps were going against your beliefs. But I appreciate it, and something tells me deep within my sense of being that trust is well placed.
Um,
Is that a scene?
I think that's scene. Yeah, yeah.
That seems like
That was
all
great.
right. So each of you. So Kia, what did you select to confirm or refute?
Hmm.
Just saying, you should totally lock in the tormented, corrupted belief.
Ah, I kind of want to. I'm so torn. So on the one hand, I feel weirdly empowered by having Shay, my Belter comrade, come through for me, even though there was a lot of doubt and mistrust
Yeah.
that was felt.
I mean, maybe it's a positive kind of consume.
Who knows? Yeah, yeah. I think I'm happy to entrench that one.
All right. And then you get to create a new belief.
Oh, interesting. I can think of that one. Well,
Yep. Shay.
Shay.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to create a new belief either. So I think I'm refuting survival as a lottery. And I think it's something more like I don't I know it has to be like an absolute rejection of that. So I guess the opposite would be something like survival like happens according to a plan
Or survival is earned.
survival is earned. I don't feel like that captures the convo that we had. 'Cause I feel like I'm beginning, yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Shay is moving towards the Polvo side of things.
Predestined.
Is predestined, yeah. Survival. Yeah, predestined. Okay, yeah. That's another interesting sort of. I feel like those are like on two different extremes of like the fatalistic spectrum or
Yeah,
something. Still a
Brilliant.
fatalist.
Oh yeah, totally. And then you get to replace that belief.
Right. Ugh. Maybe something like there are well, the session's ending, so I guess there are things beyond my comprehension, or if I had more time, I would
Yeah,
give
yeah.
that up more clearly.
Yep, sounds good. So yeah, that now means that going forward, your characters would have 2 beliefs and 1 conviction each, with the exception of Porsev, who also isn't sitting around at 5 strain. A thing I will note. And you don't remove the strain when you do a moment of growth.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's sharp. So it's a long drive until you get your next moment of growth, moment of discovery. But if you hit 6, then you can kill an NPC and be sad about it and remove all of your strain. All right. Fantastic. So I think that is an excellent point to end the session. Any final thoughts? Let's start with Lauren.
No, I have so many thoughts about this game. I think about the session. Holy shit, Jason, you're a fantastic facilitator and how you make things.
Oh
so
God,
much
I'm sloppy.
Like, yeah, no, you're so good at like imagine the worst thing and then make egg pushing it one further, where it's like, oh, can I have something bubble up from like this pit? You're like, oh no, it's better than that. It's like hands. It's like your one-upsmanship with how bad things can get is like inspired, and I wish to have that for my own GMing. And then I was so pleased that I got to have the session with Larry and Ryan, because I feel like there was a lot of good antagonism going on there with like this plot, which was very, very like PvP focused decision, and it felt like it was a good level of like fun discomfort. I think it's largely because you two are fantastic and amazing. I know that like you're very like table conscious, so I just want to take a personal thank you to everyone here for playing this very like pointy game. That's my initial thoughts.
Larry, thoughts?
Yeah, I really enjoyed all the sessions, and uh, I dig the system quite a bit actually. The scene setup, I don't know if I've seen anything exactly like it. I do enjoy. There are a couple of games out there that use like questions to sort of drive scenes, and that's like a little mechanic or whatever technique that I really dig. So I'm glad to see that appear in your game. Um, it's interesting. I almost feel like the game is almost wanting to be like a GM-less game. The way that you've distributed some of the narrative authority, I don't know if that might
Mostly
be.
because I was being lazy in these sessions. No, seriously. So the if this was a longer campaign where we were doing like 3-hour sessions, for instance,
Mhm.
you would have a lot more NPCs
Right.
actually interacting with you. I would be a lot more subtle rather than just, and Torment is going to infect you, and then you, and then you. So you would get a lot more interpersonal interactions where I'd be filling in a lot of that role. I was
Mhm.
quite frankly lazy, um, which is the reason why it felt a little bit more GM-less because I was just, yeah, why don't you folks are awesome? Why don't you just tell the story?
Well, I don't know if I would endorse the characterization of yourself as lazy, but no, yeah, it's very cool. I like that the scenes setup framework. And then yeah, I don't think I've ever seen like I haven't played a games with like these sort of the leaf mechanic is really um yeah, I'd really like to sort of play around with that like in a longer style sort of campaign. So yeah, all in all, really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Note that these are very similar mechanics to my other game, Sig.
Mm.
Uh, the key difference is actually the scene framing in After the War gives more to the GM because I always set
Oh,
that first
okay.
platform.
Right.
Perfect. So, Ryan, any final thoughts?
And you're both awesome. And all of that. System wise, it's still kind of amusing me that the way to shed all of your strain is to have someone close to you die because that means you're not stressed out anymore. Especially given that I was going in like, oh yeah, so my major issues are the I've lost so many people, I'm not getting close to anyone anymore, sort of thing. And now, if people die, suddenly I'm cool with it. It feels very weird and tonally dissonant to me. I don't think I'm quite grokking it. But the moments of discovery and everything were pretty rad. I liked that the way you shed stress is by asking people about themselves because it gave me a chance to codify some of my okay, but seriously, you're weird, so tell me why questions that I would otherwise be poking people with in chat.
Um, so I can actually explain a little bit about why that tonal dissonance thing happens. It's because when you actually do that, there's actually a set of questions. And a moment of grief is actually a thing mechanically. So it's actually catharsis. Let me just see if I can grab some of the content. Moment. Turns out the core document for this game is large. I really need to have this in not Google Docs. Because it's starting to choke on the size of the thing. Come on. Show me the questions. So the moment of grief. Ah. Okay. Sorry about the delay. So, for a moment of grief, whenever someone dies, everyone has to go around and answer one of the following questions. What did you never get to say to the fallen? What single moment with the fallen will you never forget? What will you never forgive the fallen for doing? Which of the fallen's burdens will you be taking on for your own? Why do you blame yourself for the loss of the fallen? What do you wish you had never said to the fallen? And what will the fallen be remembered as forever?
So everyone answers those?
Each person answers one of them.
Do they all clear strain then?
Yep. So it's very much a moment of catharsis for everyone as you go through and effectively mourn the fact that an NPC or a PC died. But yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
This is a game. This is like a. I'm curious to know about, like, sort of as a designer, what your thoughts are, if that's appropriate to ask.
Oh yeah.
What's the player experience you're hoping to deliver or have people like feel?
I want the player to be faced with the challenge, the feeling of a group of well-meaning people whose strong personalities are stopping them from working together, but we all want the same thing. We all want to work together, and we can make it work even though we're all very different people. Like that, like frustration and hope tied into each other functionally.
Ugh, I definitely felt a lot of isolation and like powerlessness. I think like the two feelings I came away from this game feeling. And I think part of that is because my like getting found out as being infected right away like alienated me and like quite like literally isolated me. And then on top of it, I think like it's interesting when you have like PvP engagements, but it's involving a third like PC, because like I don't have a voice like in that. I don't have a direct voice in that like negotiation. So like I was feeling like sort of isolated powerlessness coming from like there not being like a way where I could be like, oh hey, like I want to have a voice here, because like Shay and Sever like fighting over what happens to me, you know?
Right. There you could have used the help mechanics in that context.
But that's assuming that like I want to help either of them. Like
that's fair.
Yeah, it's like if I want to take a third course of action, it's like I can't do that. Like I have to acquiesce to like one side or the other.
Yeah.
So I was feeling a bit powerless. I was feeling powerless in that exchange.
Yeah. And I mean that is one of the notes of the game, but it was a little dominant in this particular campaign.
Yeah,
I was kind of emphasizing that side of the horror as opposed to some of the other aspects.
Yeah, so that's a player experience you wanted to like encourage. I totally felt that.
And that is part of it, but I was going a little strong on that note. And I apologize for not having a more well-rounded game.
I think like we managed to stick the landing, which was like very satisfying. But yeah, I for sure felt a moment there where I was like, oh, like, am I gonna get NPC'd effectively because like I don't have any agency over what happens? Like, it's like, you know, like, I think it was that point where it was like, oh, we're gonna throw Kia in the sludge, and I was like, oh, I feel very objectified and like an NPC at the moment. So like it's and again, like if Shay had been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw Kia in like the sludge, it's like, oh shit, okay, well now I need to, if I don't win this roll, what happens?
The actual answer is that you come out of the sludge just fine. By the way, mutations. Yay!
So I have a lot of thoughts and feelings around sort of like agency and like power and narrative control and stuff in this game.
And that's a thing I need to actually pay a lot of attention to in the text itself, to make sure that I'm properly exploring those issues and framing it and building the right safety mechanisms to make sure that everyone feels like they have agency when they play the game. And I really appreciate that.
I think like and then my other thought is I really appreciate like the moments of discovery, I think, are good like pressure release valves for like that sort of PvP conflict and stuff. So I think like you've done a good job of like building in a lot of like like release valves to build that sense of like we're strong personalities who just can't get along, but like we want to, and hope and optimism, because like that helps like smooth over the rough edges of any sort of like scenes that have happened and stuff. So I think like that's I can tell you've put a lot of thought into delivering that player experience of like we're a community or a group of people who are trying their hardest, but against like adversity kind of thing. I think that's super neat. That's my thoughts. It's a good game. I like it.
Tossing more community in is always a good option, which helps.
Totally.
But it's partially running sessions after a day of work is tiring.
Oh, tell me, totally.
So my brain is kind of mush.
But you did a fantastic job facilitating again.
You're far too good.
And I enjoyed all of these sessions a lot, and I think I like the belief, conviction, kind of like mechanic stuff a lot, and having them slowly like rewritten is super interesting. And I like interrogating all of like what those words mean and getting very specific around like what does it mean to go from like community over the individual to like community consumes the individual, and like so that's, I love all that. I'm rambling now, but I just this is a great game. I'm glad I'm glad you reached your funding goal so I can play more of it.
Woo. Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you all very much for playing, and I'm just going to stop the broadcast.